How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion! How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
Betty. Today we are going to be discussing the 8 Passengers family, and I'm going to touch base on the Myka and James Stauffer situation for a final time. This is my baby Sunny. She's one of my 3 new kitties. She's very sleepy right now. She'll be co-hosting with me today. I do not watch the 8 Passengers family. They're not really my cup of tea, to be honest. I had no idea who they were. My 11-year-old daughter knew who they were. I asked her, what do you know about them? And she said, they make really cringy videos, which, to be fair, they do. I mean, she's not wrong. Just as a parent, a lot of what they do is embarrassing to their children. Like, when their kids grow up and get jobs, I wouldn't want a potential boss seeing me discussing periods or puberty or shaming my kids for some of the pranks they had pulled on each other. I just think that kind of crosses a line. There's family vloggers who do a very good job, such as Jordan Page or Jay Morrell, and a few others who I can't think of off the top of my head right now. But then there are others who put their, what's the word I'm looking for? They put clickbaity titles or cover controversial topics, not for the benefit of their family, but to attract more viewers or to make more money or to get more sponsorships, which I think in the long run that's not going to work out because people are going to get sick of your gimmick. And she sent her oldest son, I believe when he was 14, to wilderness camp for 3 months. And she was discussing, he asked what he needed to pack, and she's like, oh, just 30-something pairs of underwear. What teenage boy would want his mother getting online and being like, yeah, you just need undies? No one. Nobody. Nobody needed to know that information. Also, the wilderness camp that they had sent him to, similar wilderness camps had been under investigation for death, injuries, a lot of bad things. You don't really know who your children are with at these places. Sure, they can say, oh, we've got a psychologist on staff, we've got therapists, we've got XYZ. You don't know their background. You don't know who you are leaving your child in the middle of the woods with. And that is a terrifying thought. It's scary enough sending your kids to school to be around adults you don't know and other students, but to purposely put them in the middle of nowhere, no phone, no shelter, they don't know anyone, they don't even have beds to sleep in. I just think that is above and beyond. That is very cruel. In my personal opinion, these are my opinions. Also, when there was a video where her daughter, who I believe is 5 or 6, went to school, and apparently she's in charge of packing her own lunch, which, seriously, at 5 or 6? My kids were doing good if they remembered their backpack that morning. Like, are you kidding me? Anyway, her daughter forgot to pack her lunch that morning, and allegedly she told her mom she had packed it. The teacher called the mom and was like, your child doesn't have a lunch. Can you please bring her one? And her mom's like, no, I'm not bringing her lunch. It was her responsibility. She's 5. That's like kindergarten age. No. And then after the mom talked to the teacher, she's like, well, I hope nobody feeds her today so she'll learn a lesson. So basically, you want your kid to go hungry because you thought it was acceptable for a 5-year-old to be in charge of remembering to feed themselves many hours later in the day, when all the 5-year-old is probably thinking is, woo, I get to go to school and see all my friends and talk with everybody and play all day. They're not like, oh, I might be hungry in a few hours. I should probably bring a snack. Am I the only one that thinks that she's pushing off a lot of the parental duties onto our kids. And don't get me wrong, as a mom, there are things your kids can do for themselves. You want your kids to be capable of doing things for themselves. But you also need to be there when they forget to do those things so they're not left hungry or cold or in a bad situation. There's a difference between teaching responsibility and just being like, well, whatever, it's your fault. You can't place the blame on the child. They're a child. They're still learning. It's a you problem. It's not a them problem. So, and then she and her husband got on IG Live and we're like, well, we're sorry if you feel this way. Maybe if you feel this way about our parenting style, you should evaluate why you're feeling this way. Excuse me? How condescending can you be? People are concerned about your children because of the type of videos you upload, the fact that your son was without a mattress, without a bed, period, for 7 months after he got back home from this wilderness camp because he pulled a prank on his brother. Which, I'm sorry, my children are 17 months apart. They pull pranks on each other all the time. It's a bonding thing with siblings. They pull stupid pranks, and then when they get older, they laugh about it. That's all there is to it. But it came out that he had been sleeping on a beanbag in the living room or something for like 7 months because he lied to his little brother and said, oh, you need to get up and pack for Disney World. And then he, I guess, had a BB gun and he was pointing it at his brother, which, not cool. Totally understand that. And then they were playing basketball and he left his little brother hanging from the net. I used to do that to my cousin. It was funny. It was really funny because he was a lot taller than me and I would leave him hang there. But guess what? We're adults now. We laugh about it. I can't think of anything my child would do where I'd be like, you no longer have access to a bed. Now, I can understand sometimes if your child has issues. Oh, hi, Luna. Sorry, I have cats in here and they like to interrupt. I can understand if for safety reasons, like if your child was cutting themselves or doing something like that and hiding knives under their bed, that's a totally different thing. You're doing it for their safety. In this case, it wasn't for his safety. It wasn't for his comfort. It was because he pulled a stupid prank on his little brother. I don't understand how some of these parents can shame their children for content. And then when people have an opinion about how they're behaving towards their children, they're like, oh, well, who cares what your opinion is? It doesn't matter. And are completely condescending and dismissive. When maybe they should look in the mirror and realize, oh, we might be doing something wrong. Maybe we should fall back and, relax a little bit. It just really rubbed me the wrong way. It just seems like she's more focused on what she wants to do, and the kids are just there to do what she wants. I don't know. Hi, Luna. I couldn't embarrass my kids like that. Even my 11-year-old thinks their videos are cringy. At 11. She's like, do you know how embarrassing that would be, Mom? And I'm like, yeah, I would never do that to you and your sister. There's a difference between having a family vlog and incorporating your children in a normal way. Like, oh, we're having dinner. Oh, we're on vacation, whatever. And then there is every day trying to think of some topic you can use to get people to click on your video, even if it does harm to your children in the long term. Do you think when they're adults, they're going to look back and be like, wow, I'm so glad my mom recorded a sex talk online with me? Or, wow, we talked about periods. That was fun. Or, wow, I got sent to wilderness camp and I didn't have a bed when I came home because, oh man, I pulled a prank on my brother. This is not gonna be good in the long term. I've known people who've had parents like this, and the tighter the parent would hold on, the more rules they would make, the stricter they would become. As soon as that child is out of that environment, they're not going to know their own limits. They're going to go from one extreme, which is super shielded, protected from everything, don't understand anything, to the other extreme, where they're going to be having dangerous behaviors. They're going to be pushing the limits, seeing what they can get away with. I know someone who grew up in a fundamentalist Christian household. She was only allowed to watch, I don't know, PBS, the Christian channel, and like one or two other channels as a 14, 15-year-old. She had to go to church 3 times a week. She was not allowed outside with friends after 7 p.m. She couldn't take phone calls after 7 p.m. Very strict, very, very strict parents. She had 2 children by the time she was a senior in high school. She also, hi Luna, she also developed a drug habit, sadly, because she was so, I don't know how to say this, she was so coddled through her childhood that she didn't understand a lot of the risks that go with certain behaviors. And it's really sad because then when they have to deal with the consequences of these behaviors, they don't know what to do. And it's just a downward spiral. And I would hate for any other children, well, children now, adults, to go through that, because it's hard to watch somebody you care about just want to try everything that they've never tried before, but they don't know how to stop themselves before it reaches critical point. Like it's just really hard to see that these kids maybe aren't getting emotionally connected with their parents, and their parents are expecting them to just kind of like toe the line all the time. I don't know. It's just really, I don't think it's gonna be good when some of these children grow up. I think they're maybe gonna want to leave the house and not deal with their parents anymore, because that's how my friend ended up. She doesn't really deal with her parents right now because she feels like they didn't teach her anything growing up. They just expected her to follow the rules, and that didn't end well for her. Because you get told follow, 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 one day you're going to break out of that line and do your own thing, and it's not always going to be so pretty at the end. I also wanted to discuss the Myka and James Stauffer situation one last time, I guess. Sorry, I need a drink. I'm a little parched and my cat is going nuts. So apparently they are copyright striking people who are using their videos. I did not use their video because I figured this would probably happen. You know, she had to take down some of those videos, so she's not getting the money anymore, so she's got to get it from somewhere. Not just her. Her and her husband are both trash people. I mean, honestly, I have no respect for people who take the responsibility of a child and then abandon said child. It's not okay. It's not okay. And I've heard that allegedly when she worked at a senior center as a nurse, she assaulted a pregnant coworker. She lied to the boss there, got the coworker fired. She God, there's a lot of stuff coming out about her. And I also wonder if she's maybe copyright striking people to send a signal to people who may have more information on her to be like, oh, well, if you say anything, I'm just going to get a lawyer and come after you. Like as a preemptive way to shut them up. Whatever. Seems like there's a lot of family dramas going on right now. There must be something in the air because, what is it, like Myka and James, 8 passengers, and there's some other lady who was supposed to speak out about Myka and James or whatever in the 8 passengers, and then she never did because she got a cease and desist, allegedly, from one of them. And then people have found some of her old blog posts where she talks about her husband disciplining her daughter all day long. I think I might do a little bit of a series on some of these little fundamentalist Christian situations going on because I grew up in that type of environment and I know how deep-seated and damaging it can be. If that sounds good, let me know. If you want to see that, if you like what we talked about today, please consider subscribing or liking or whatever. And sorry if I'm a bit rambly, I'm a little hyper. It's like the middle of the night, can't sleep. Cats everywhere. Thanks for watching. Bye.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion! How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!